All right, so this is just a quick tutorial to go over the basics here. So obviously you got your parts library on the left, you just place items. So you left click and then left click to place it. If you left click again and drag around, it'll move it. And if you want to rotate it, you right mouse click when it's selected. And the pivot point is the center of the object, and you have to raycast onto the actual wood. That's where it gets the angle from. If you go over here on the outside, the mouse isn't hitting the wood, so it's got to be on the actual wood. Okay, you can delete objects with the delete key. Wireforms and other parts have different settings, so when you click that with the left mouse, you got this little rail segment, and you just left click, and that'll start wireform. Right click will create new segments, and then when you want to raise it up, you just left mouse click on it, and it tells you to hold Z, and that's how you can move it up and down, and then you just release when you're done. And you can still move the wireform points back and forth. Again, delete key, you can just select that, delete it. These little rail segments for like inline guides, you just place those. Again, right mouse will, as you hold it, it creates the secondary location for it. Ramps, just go ahead and click the ramp, place this, and then right mouse click, you start getting those points around. By default, it goes up, I think, 3 inches. If you hold the Z key again while you're selected on a node, you can raise each individual node up or down. And there's a little bit of a bug here when I did that, but we'll fix some of these things in the upcoming patch. This is kind of experimental. There's a bug here, but if you hold the segment and hold X, that's how you would widen the, that's how you'd widen it, but that kind of seems like it has a bug lately, so might not be able to use that. Playfield settings are up here at the top. You can change the playfield width. If you want it to be like 80 inches and be like a mega wide body, you can do that. In the future, we're gonna have the cabinet resize. So let's go back to 20.25. You can also change the height of the table. So just go here and type in, let's say 25. You see the back of the playfield updates there. And if you want to see the physics, you can always click this button here to toggle it on and off at the bottom. That just shows you the physics simulation engine. If you're having an issue with some kind of collision or something, or a bug, you can send it my way. I'll load your file up. Let's go back to a 45. So 45 or 46 is a standard playfield. Down at the bottom here, these are not really used that much so far. I got to populate this, but like ball save and gameplay settings are going to go here. Camera settings right here. This is top playfield view. You click it again, that's gameplay, and underneath we'll go over that later. But that's how you do wiring and make sure all your mechs can fit. You can actually click like flipper mechs and it'll rotate and pivot around the shaft. Go back to normal mode. This is just an LCD setting. Right now it's not really useful. I don't even think it's hooked up, but in the future that might have some other stuff. This is a log button. It'll just generate events that happen, like if a coin gets inserted, switches hit, player added, stuff like that. So if you see right here, like this says the left in-lane rollover 1. This will be left in-lane rollover 2. I'll show you an opto beam here. If you click it, place it, again, right mouse can adjust how far the opto beam is. And as you see it roll through there, you see it says it hit opto transmitter. Shows up there. And then again, as you scale these, it rolls, it's not hitting it, so it has to go right through it. The sound effects do not do anything yet. They're not hooked up. World settings, you can go in here. You can change the sun color. The rotation doesn't work for the main key light. You can enable and disable real-time shadows. That'll just give you a performance boost. As you see here, as I hit my flipper, the shadow doesn't update any longer, so it'll give you a better FPS. The frame rate's displayed at the bottom left here, if you're curious what your frame rate is. So I'll just go through a couple of things here. So if you have a drop target, by default it just sets it to immediate for a single target, just to get things going. If you change that to programmed, you can do timer, reset timer, you can say 5 seconds. So it'll drop and come back up. There you go. I'm going to turn the log off because it's kind of rendering bad. Same thing with these drop target banks. You have another setting. It's by default bank complete, which is pretty much how standard games work. So you hit all 3 of them and it'll reset. If you're familiar with the Deadpool game, you have this drop target, 3 of them right in the middle here. And then you have like a switch here and you have a Deadpool guy up here. So in that case, you would go here and do programmed, which means it's not going to do anything until we write code later on to reset it. So they'll just stay down until we reset it. So to import movie clips, items, different things, what we do is I'll just grab some stuff from the Metallica game that I have. So when you create your table, I'm just going to start a brand new one here. So I'll go up here, new file. We'll just call this tutorial. And what that does is it'll create a directory already, actually. I can't show it here right now, but it'll create a directory and all your files will go there. So I'm just going to copy and bring in some stuff here. So let's find the Metallica game. Okay, so if I just go up here, there's movies, sound tab. So I'm going to go to the images so you can see there's no images listed over here on the left. I'm going to drag some in here. So I got this achievements. Again, I have a system that's kind of like insider connected, but it's outsider. That's what I call it. You can use it for your home brews. I'll write that code pretty soon here. So I'm just dragging one by one different stickers and items that I've created. You can grab a whole bucket of items, so I'll just do that now. So right now I have highlighted a bunch of items in a random folder. So you can go anywhere in your hard drive, click as many items as you want, and you just drag them while they're selected on here. You see it just populates them all here. So it just copied all of those files from anywhere on my hard drive and it goes and brings them into my tutorial folder. That way if I want to share this or have it built, or if I'm working with different people or whatever happens, you just have it all structured in one folder. If you go back to table settings, now that we have some images, if I move the mouse up here, so if you hit the middle mouse wheel, you can keep it down, you can kind of rotate things. But I can go to the translate art here and I just type in Metallica, hit the arrow key up or down to select the options here, and there's my translate. It gets loaded right there. Same thing with the playfield. I'll go to playfield art, type in Metallica, and we're going to go down to playfield clear, and then there's my playfield right there. And so you can see like I can move these here and size them up and start working on this game if I want to work on it. And then we'll just give you a little bit of some other things to do here real quick. So there's a movies clips tab right here. I'm just going to drag in a movie clip from there. We will go with a skill shot video. So I drag and drop an MP4. It's in here. I can't do anything with it yet until I write some code to display it. So I'm going to create in here the programming tab. I'm going to create a new code sequence. And I'm going to do something when I hit a switch. So I'm going to I just left mouse click this, and then it gives me a bunch of options. Do hit switch. And I don't have a switch yet, so let's create one. So I go here in the parts, I create a switch, and I already loaded a sticker for this. So if I go over here and delete all that and type in sticker Sparky, that's like a Metallica. It's one of the stickers I think from the older version, but you see the sticker gets placed right on there. And now I have a switch. I can rename it. So just go up here, delete all this. I'll just call this Sparky Switch. And then I go back to programming tab. I click on my new sequence. I can name it something like play movie. And when I hit the switch, I'm going to hit it one time. And if I click on the switch name here, I can type it in here. As I type S, it'll bring it up. But also while this is highlighted, this box, you can actually just left mouse click anything on the play field that's a switch, and it'll just drop it in there. So it just really gets you really quick. I hated typing stuff in there, so I just created features as I go along. Add another code step, so once that completes, we're gonna play a movie. And that is right here. And the movie I wanna play is gonna be skill shot video. So the other thing is it's not active. If you look over the left here, it just says sequence name. Turn it to always active. So it's going to run. Hit escape to get out of the code sequence. Grab a ball, throw it, and you see that it shows up. So to grab a ball, you hit numpad key 1, and that gives you a ball. You can right click and it'll just drop it. So you just hit 1 and right mouse, 1 and right mouse. If you hit 1 and you hold your left mouse and then release it, it'll fire it. And depending on how far you drag your mouse is how hard or soft it'll throw it. So that code sequence is complete. It's never going to run again unless I reactivate it somewhere. I can have other code sequences activate it, but for now I can just go here and just say reset, which means it's always going to keep looping. So every time I do this now, it's going to play that. Just keeps repeating it. And I'll just do one other thing again to show you drop targets. So if I have a bank here and I say it's programmed, drop target bank, I'm going to create a new code sequence. And what I'm going to do is, again, when I hit this other switch, I'm going to have it reset the drop target. So I'm going to do hit switch. Switch I want to hit is this guy. And I'm going to say when I hit it 3 times, I'm going to add a new code step, and it's going to trigger the coil for that drop target. So again, this is programmed. I'm going to bring it over here, turn this sequence on. Okay, so I'm going to hit these, 1, 2, 3. And then when I hit that, plays the movie clip, and then I hit it the 3rd time and it reset these. So now that sequence is complete. Again, if I want it to run again, I can change the drop down here. And I can just repeat this over and over. So we'll go deeper into programming in a little bit here in another tutorial, but that's just how to get you up and running for now. All right, so the last part with the consideration would be the magnet. And when you place it, it normally doesn't do anything. So if I throw a ball over it, nothing happens. So I'm gonna put a switch here, and I'm gonna put some code. It says when I hit that switch, so when I hit it 1 time, we're gonna turn on the magnet coil. And we gotta activate that code sequence. And it'll pull it, and it'll hold it for like 3 seconds and drop it. And we can set this to continually reset. And I'll just keep doing that.